What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and today, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, I want to go ahead and end off the year bringing y'all some of the best and rarest builds that we have seen throughout. So today, I'm going to be bringing y'all a unique but the best stretch big all year. This build, I'm telling you, it's going to be a stretch big, but we're going to be able to get rim protecting takeover, and on top of all that, we're going to be able to break ankles, shoot, and get pro dribble moves, y'all. So again, I just want to say thank y'all so much to everybody who decided to come through today. We got 2K22 dropping in a few days, y'all. So man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the RGF family, and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button. That helps me out so much. Let's go ahead and get 25 likes on today's video. But also, if you're looking to join the RGF family, man, go ahead and turn on post notifications and y'all are going to be set. Now, when it comes down to the position you want to put this build under, go ahead and start it off by putting it under the power forward. I'm telling you, this build is going to be really solid once it comes down to it. The weight and everything that goes into it is going to be very unique from the most common stretches that we have seen all year. Now, when it comes down to the pie chart that y'all want to pick, go ahead and pick the one right here that's going to be split right down the middle with the playmaking as well as the shooting. Then, when it comes down to the physical profile, now keep in mind, I'm not going to go ahead and pick the very first one because I want to be able to put some speed on this build. However, if you want to go ahead and make that version of it, feel free to do so. But I'm going to go with the one that has 67 speed, 65 strength, 65 acceleration, and then the 50 vertical, y'all. So now when it comes down to these stats, again, I'm going to show y'all the best version in my opinion, so you can also go ahead and make your own adjustments on this build. But let's go ahead and get right into it now. So when it comes down to the shooting, of course you want to make this build like a stretch. So max out the first three categories from mid-range to the free throw. Then on the post fade, put that to a 62, and that's going to give us 20 shooting badges. Then when it comes down to the playmaking side of things, go ahead and put your pass accuracy to a 72. Ball handle is going to be maxed out, and the same exact thing with your post moves, y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into the defense. Put the interior to a 67, perimeter 57, lateral quickness 61, steal 62, and you can pretty much max out your block, offensive rebound, as well as the defensive. Now, with these last 33 badge points, what you want to go ahead and do is really put it based off of your own preference. But what I'm going to go ahead and put it towards is going to be my driving dunk. As you can see, went up a lot more than the 30, and I would much rather put it into my driving dunk over my driving layup. Now, that's my personal preference. I feel like the finishing badges right here aren't going to matter too much because we have so much when it comes down to the shooting and the playmaking, and the defense is still going to be able to hold its own. Now, when it comes down to the body shape, y'all really got to go ahead and pick whatever one you like the most and feel most comfortable with. But I'm going to go ahead and say right now that Burley is going to take up the most space. So that's what the one that I'm going to pick. Then when it comes down to the height, drop it to 6'7", and that's going to allow us to get those pro dribble moves, y'all. Now, here's where things are going to change up a lot compared to most stretches. So when it comes down to the weight, you can go with the max, or if you want to make it perfect, go and put it to 274, y'all. Now, when it comes down to the wingspan, be sure that you are paying attention right here. So go with an 86.0. Anything higher than that is definitely not going to allow you to get the pro dribble moves that we want. So again, 86.0 is going to be the perfect wingspan to put on when it comes down to this build. As you can see, when it comes down to the defense, a lot of these stats are going to be in the mid to high 70s. And on top of all that, the stats that are in the 70s are definitely going to be hitting the 80s, y'all. Then at 99 overall, we're getting those pro dribble moves, and the post moves are going to be in the high 80s. When it comes down to the post fade, this will be in the 70s. We're going to be able to get a 99 free throw on this build. Then mid-range and the three-pointer are easily going to be able to hit the 90s. And then when it comes down to the finishing, we're not going to be worried too much about it. But at 99 overall, you're going to get a 70 driving dunk, which is going to allow this build to unlock even more different types of dunks, y'all. So it really comes down to the takeovers, which one you pick and which one is more like your play style. For me, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, to make this a two-way stretch playmaker, just go ahead and pick that rim protecting takeover. If you want to break ankles, you can pick between the shot creating and the playmaking. Sharpshooting is always going to be a good takeover to pick, but I'm going to make this build the most overpowered with the rim protecting. And as y'all can see, we have made a stretch 4, y'all. Now, the build has all of the attributes of a two-way stretch playmaker, but when it comes to current gen, we cannot make the build come out to that name because they do not allow it only on next gen. Now, if y'all want to, go ahead and just check out what this build is actually going to be looking like at 99. When it comes down to it, the physicals are going to be really good. We're getting a +8, so our speed's going to be in the 80s. Same thing with the strength, going to be in the high 80s, and our acceleration is pretty much going to be there. Honestly, I can say that when it comes down to this build, going to be a really sneaky build with what it does, y'all. So, when it comes down to the finishing badge, the only one that I'm really going to consider is going to be contact finisher or even lob city finisher and relentless finisher. Comes down to which one you want to put on, but that's the setup that I'm going to go with. Now, let's go ahead and get into the defense. Got 11 badges to work with. So one of the setups that I would go with here is going to be Intimidator on gold as well as Clamps. Then, with these last 5, I would go ahead and put on maybe Bronze Chase on Artist as well as Interceptor. And then from there, you could go with Silver or Gold Rim Protector. But if you want to go ahead and change the setup a little bit more, like I said, feel free to go about it however you feel most comfortable. You can really put on any of the badges when it comes down to the defense if you feel like it helps you most. I'm going to go ahead and put on Silver Rebound Chaser just to pair it up with my rebounding on this build. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. 20 badges to work with. So the first one that I'm going to hit y'all with is going to be Quick First Step. Now, for those of the dribble gods who actually know how to activate the park handles and use them to your advantage, go ahead and put on tight handles. From here, I'm going to go ahead and put on handles for days as well. Now, if you want to help out your teammates on this build, put on Floor General as well as Dimer both on Hall of Fame. If not, I would go with Unpluckable, and then from there, I would go with Silver or Hall of Fame Bailout. You can really change it up to whatever badge you want to put on, but I feel like this is going to be a really good setup like that. And then, last but not least, we got the shooting to get into. So, let's go ahead and start it off. I'm going to go with Range Extender on Hall of Fame. From there, you cannot forget Hot Zone Hunter, y'all. Now, another one that we all need to put on is going to be Deadeye. If you want to, you can drop it down to Silver, but let's go ahead and go a little bit further. So, I'm going to go with Bronze, Volume Shooter, Green Machine, and then Silver Corner Specialist. Another one that I really like is honestly going to be Flexible Release, but for this build, you necessarily do not need it. Now, when it comes down to the last badge, you could go with a Hall of Fame one in Hot Start, or you could spread the wealth. It really comes down to which way about it that you feel most comfortable with going. Now, if you want to, go ahead and put on Hall of Fame Green Machine, and that's a really good setup to end it. And that's what we're going to leave it as with 1, 20, 20, and 11. Thank y'all so much to everybody who made it this far. Go ahead and comment down RGF if you did. And again, I got another video dropping for y'all tomorrow. Thursday night, we got 2K22 dropping. And y'all most definitely know that for this weekend, I got y'all with all the builds and the best gameplay that you're going to be seeing, man. So again, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Let's go ahead and get 25 likes on this banger. I would appreciate it. If you're looking to join the RGF family, go ahead and turn on post notifications. And man, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.